One of the most common things that I hear from people is this: Joel, if I didn't do anything wrong, why wouldn't I just talk to the police? And honestly, that does sound reasonable. If you're innocent, you've got nothing to hide, right? So why not answer their questions, clear up the misunderstanding, and get on with your life? Well, the problem is that real life doesn't work that way. I'm Joel Chorny, and I'm a criminal defense attorney here in Arizona. After handling criminal cases for over 15 years, I've seen something that surprises a lot of people. Innocent people can get themselves into serious trouble by talking to the police. Now, to be clear, I'm not saying that every police officer is out to get you. What I am saying is that when police are investigating a crime, they are gathering evidence. And sometimes the evidence that they gather comes from the person that they're questioning. Here's the first problem: human memory is not nearly as good as we think it is. Let's say that something happened 2 weeks ago. You might remember the general events, but what time did you arrive? Who was there when you got there? What were people wearing? What exact words were used? Most people don't remember those details perfectly. So what do? We fill in the gaps. Not because we're trying to lie, but because that's how human memory actually works. But when you fill in a gap and later evidence shows that detail wasn't quite right, now you've got a problem. The police aren't sitting there thinking, well, memory is complicated. No, they're thinking, why did this person's story change? And suddenly, an innocent mistake starts looking suspicious. Here's the second problem: many people think that they're helping themselves when they keep talking. They answer one question, then another, then another. They start explaining. They start guessing. They start trying to sound convincing. And the more words that come out, the more opportunities there are for misunderstandings, inconsistencies, or statements that can be taken out of context. I've had clients tell me things like, I was just trying to explain what happened. And that's exactly what got them into trouble. The third problem is that most people don't know when they're actually a suspect. A lot of people imagine that if the police suspect them of a crime, the officers will come right out and say so. And that's not always how it works. In fact, that's rarely how it works. Sometimes an officer will tell you that they're just trying to get your side of the story. Sometimes they'll say that you're not under arrest. Sometimes they'll tell you that they just have a few questions and they're trying to clear some stuff up. Meanwhile, they're gathering information that could later be used against you. So, what should you do? Well, first, you should be polite. Don't argue. Don't be rude. Don't make the situation harder than it needs to be. Second, ask a simple question: am I free to leave? If the answer is yes, you should leave. If the answer is no, stop answering questions immediately and tell them, I am not answering any questions. I want a lawyer. And then you have to actually stop talking. And that's the part that people often struggle with. They invoke their rights and then immediately start explaining. Don't do that. The right to remain silent only works if you, in fact, remain silent. At the end of the day, the right to remain silent is not a right reserved for guilty people. It's a protection for everyone, including innocent people. Because once words leave your mouth, you don't control how they're interpreted. You don't control how they're remembered, and you don't control how they're used later. And that's exactly why so many criminal defense attorneys give the same advice. If the police want to question you, be polite, be respectful, and keep your mouth shut. I'm Joel Chorny. Remember, you have rights. They matter. Protect them. Stay safe, and I'll see you in the next video.